Welcome back to part 6 of the I'm Taking Charge Fundamentals course. Let's revise where we are. So we've started to gain an awareness of what's happening in your mind and your body to give you the anxiety symptoms you're experiencing. And we've gained an understanding of the results chain, the chain of events which lead to the outcomes we get in life. We've talked about a few ways to consciously take charge of our anxiety, intervening in the results chain in the interpretation phase with our meaning questions, at the emotional state phase with our trinity of physiology, self-talk and focus, and at the actions phase by taking an action towards what we want. But as we've said, ultimately we don't want to be triggered into unnecessary anxiety in the first place. There's a key word in the strategy to avoid that happening, and you'll find it there in the second box: beliefs. It's a word that has featured a number of times throughout the presentation already. Remember, we said that the brain's primary job is to keep us alive, so it will naturally lean towards showing us the perceived threats. And what we perceive a threat has been programmed into our subconscious mind by our beliefs. And we can see here that it's this belief getting triggered there in the second box that causes the release of chemicals which ultimately lead to the symptoms we're experiencing. So while the skills we've learned to intervene in this results chain are all vital skills for all types of situations, ultimately we'd rather not be triggered into unnecessary anxiety in the first place. And that means shining a light on these beliefs and the role they're playing in our lives. So what do I mean by beliefs? Beliefs are our personal rules for life, what we assume to be true about the world, other people and ourselves. What's good or bad, right or wrong, what's possible or not possible, should, shouldn't, will, won't. They're judgments that we use to make sense of the world, essentially to keep us protected, whether that be from physical harm or from harm to our image. They provide the lens or filter through which you view the world. Where do beliefs come from? Well, most we take on by the age of 7, from your upbringing or the environment or society you grew up in, and then often from various authority figures. Beliefs on things like religion, politics, money, careers, the roles of the different genders, people that look or act differently to what you do, the way we're expected to act. These things tend to be passed down. So some of the ones you operate from and get triggered by may not even be yours. Another way beliefs are formed is from decisions we make, the way we interpret situations as we move through life, particularly from significant emotional events. When we put meaning on an event, from that decision or interpretation, a belief is formed or further entrenched. What you'll find is many of the beliefs we carry about ourselves and the world result from an interpretation we made long ago, maybe as a child or teenager, when we really didn't know any better. And yet we hold on to them like gospel and move through the world continuing to look for evidence to support them, further entrenching them as we go and subconsciously blocking out evidence that may go against them. People tend to fight hard for their beliefs, even though these beliefs we make about ourselves and the world can cause us a lot of pain and sabotage our happiness. It seems that humans would rather be in pain and feel right than admit we were wrong or that there may be a different way to see things. Behind this anxiety you're facing are your beliefs, your personal operating system. We've all lived different lives, so we've all developed a different operating system, our own model or map of reality. It's as unique to us as our thumbprint. At the moment, your map is leading to anxiety. If you can speak, then you can speak in public. If other people can get up and do it and not pass out in the spot, it's clearly not public speaking that is the problem. What is your belief around public speaking, or yourself in relation to it? And of course, public speaking is just the example we're using. Your issue may be something completely different. The people you look at as being extraordinary have radically different models or maps of reality, a whole different idea of what they believe is possible, because they see the world through a different lens or filter of their beliefs. There is a different way to look at the world, and it comes into view by shining a light on these beliefs that are being triggered. What you'll find is many of these beliefs really don't stand up to scrutiny. As we've said, they may have been formed as a child or perhaps come from a time long ago when the world was very different. The good news is that these beliefs aren't fixed, they can be changed. When you become conscious of them, you can then choose which ones you want to keep and which you'll change, rather than continue to operate by the ones that you took on unconsciously. At World Class Friend, we take you through processes to first identify these beliefs that are contributing to your anxiety, and then second, change them at the subconscious level so that you're not being triggered by them. Now, there may be countless beliefs you're operating by that are contributing to your anxiety, but you may find that when we use processes to identify and modify the core beliefs, the rest tend to take care of themselves. One of the best things you can ever do is look at what you believe to be true about yourself and the world. When you change a belief, you change the way that you react to things, and you change the way the world responds to you. You change the boundaries of your life, you change your reality, and you open up a whole new world of possibilities. So the first little step is to start to become aware of what some of those beliefs may be for you. And a very effective way of doing that is to do something which is uncomfortable to you, or even think about doing it. When you do that, you're going to get some self-talk and probably a feeling in your body. There's a decision or a number of decisions that you are making about that situation which is making you uncomfortable. And the third question there in the meaning questions will pull that belief out. What am I deciding in order to feel this way? What are you deciding about yourself, other people, or the world, which is giving you that uncomfortable feeling in those circumstances? Start to write those down, because once we get to the core beliefs, everything changes. This is life-changing stuff. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. We're starting to get an idea of the task you have in front of you in order to take charge of anxiety. And that task is going to require a certain mindset. There's a few key pieces to that mindset, and on the next video, we're going to explore the first of those. I'll also set out the path forward, how we go about putting together the pieces of this puzzle for the final solution. And finally, I'll give you details on how you can get your hands on what I call Peace in My Pocket, a tool I devised which got me through some particularly scary moments early in my journey of taking charge of anxiety. I'll see you for all that on the next video.